So hello, I was checking my on my YouTube channel now that I have a YouTube channel, and then I found all these videos from last year. That's how I started all of this, which was just corporate meetings, and I started using YouTube as a way to improve my communication skills through email because I have a big problem, which is a lawsuit that I started in 2018, and the defendants and the perpetrators of the problems I have suffered, they use this technique of the 2000s, right, which is just not answering email, blocking you, deleting. It's cyberspace. How do you solve a problem in cyberspace? You delete, you block, you cancel, and you also do fake news, right? This is 2020. This is what's going on everywhere, right? You even on relationships, personal relationships. Now, if you talk to younger people, right, somebody in their 20s that they are dating or flirting, getting relationships, the delete and block is part of their daily life, and fake news too, right? The fake picture they post. Then once they start to interact with somebody they're interested, it's all online. Then the other party don't answer, block, delete, and then there's a word now, ghosting, right? So that's why in 2018 I started to make these videos because I was like, maybe I send them a video and I try to, so they would see me as if I were in their office talking about this. So once again, I was a pioneer because now it's all over the place. So I was already doing this like 1 year ago from Belfast, in my office in Belfast. And so let's go back to that again because it's October now. It's as the beginning of every month. There we go. I have to review my lawsuits. What happened in this September? What's improvement? What answers we get from the parties and all the police and attorneys and everybody that is involved in this case, and then I give an update also because I have to talk to so many different people, and I believe that maybe the video is the best. Okay, so there is documents and things, but I'm not sure if people are really reading anymore. But so so this video, the main topic is my lawsuits. Okay, that's all the everything else that I'm doing to bring civilization back. August TV, the other thing, they all come from this. So this was the beginning. So 1 year ago, this is the only thing I would be doing. I wouldn't be, nobody would know who I am. I mean, a little bit because I've done some interviews and I'm being some briefly on some public appearances, but now is when I'm taking the whole thing serious, and that's one of the things I say to the police is that for these problems not to happen again, I'm just not working. I mean, this is the Venezuela reality. Is the countries that there's no production. It's all over the world now. It's just not safe. So what I'm doing, I'm not going into new contracts because I do not want to be robbed again. And also another problem is the deposit because the attorneys that are assisting me, they told me that's been since 2018. Every new contract, new suppliers need to sign a contract and deposit at least $30,000 as a cautious deposit. What does that mean? Because it's not only the fact of having a clear, because sometimes, oh, but you may have like this fantastic contract that covers everything. It's not only about the contract, it's also about the guarantees, because if you can't execute the contract straight away, you own these problems again, because even to execute the contract, you need to pay attorney fees and do the same thing I'm doing. So that's why the deposit is mandatory. And well, it's been 2 years, and I'm talking to like you name it, the quantity of suppliers I've been talking to, and all of them I say, look, I'm sorry, you need to pay $30,000 deposit. It just happened yesterday. Was a supplier of rice from Suriname. Suriname has rice, and Vietnam also. The two emails yesterday, and I said, look, please, and straight away you have to sign a contract and deposit $30,000. How do you want to settle this? And okay, they don't, and whatever. So okay, so when it comes to the looting, okay, uh, looting on the cyberspace is the name that I gave. It's a looting on the cyberspace. My company was looted. That was the first name I gave to the whole case. Now, as of 2 years working on this case, the case is closed already. It's pretty obvious what happened, and there are names that they come from the police. The crime I was victim of is called invoice redirection fraud. So, Jamie Williams from Wisconsin Finest, Alexandre Almeida from Grupo Minar Brazil, Yuchana Limpitun from Master Choice Student, and Valai Limsusakakun from Shiva Rice, TMP Rice Mill, Bangkok. What they did, instead of simply paying my contract, okay, this is Augustine's business. Here is we received $2 million from this client. Here's Augustine's bill. The same way they pay the freight, they pay the customs clearance. Okay, here's Augustine, the marketing company, the brand owner, the client that brought the client, actually, because I'm the one who brought the businesses to them. Here's their bill. It says $100,000. There we go. As they did before, I had payments from them. Okay, instead of sending $100,000 to Ellie Group Industries, Citibank, Florida, what they did instead, they redirected my payment to a random company, to somebody else, and then is when that's the crime, that's the dispute, that's the action, okay, which is very easy to be solved. As soon as those companies are busted, they need to come with their bank statements, and all the wire transfers are there, and one by one you understand when they did that and how many times they did that. So that's the invoice redirection fraud, which I was victim of because I checked my bank account, there's no deposit, and like, what is happening? Okay, so that's a crime against me. The other crimes, they're more against society, is money laundering, active and passive corruption, embezzlement, fraud, because what the whole thing they did is a deviation of the payment, like the payment went somewhere else. So that payment, that's fraud, that's tax evasion, that's money laundering, that's drug dealers. We do not know what happened to my payments, where are they? Okay, especially when you talk about $400,000, when you talk about contracts of $10 million, $20 million, $5 million. I mean, what happened to those funds? Okay, where did they go to? That's the invoice redirection fraud. And then is when they respond also for other crimes which are against the world. That's crime. I'm not sure if money laundering is really like that easy to clear, for example. But the embezzlement, then it goes there. There's and then you have the aspects of it, which is like, who is the active, who is the passive, like who had the idea, for example. I wonder that sometimes in the case of Brazil, maybe Anthony Pucci from American Heritage Billiards is the orchestrator of the invoice redirection fraud there, because Brian Phillips said that in one of his communications. He said, "Oh, we're doing this because Anthony Pucci and Elaine Gerber, and they asked us to remove Ellie Group, and then they come with all the excuses and the reasons for the obviously economical reasons. Everybody was disputing the $400,000, the renewable contracts. I do B2B, so usually my contracts are renewable every year. That also justifies why I keep sending the invoices, okay? Why I'm doing the invoices now. I'm resending the invoices because I understand all these contracts are open still, and they are shipping to my clients, and also and that will be. But then there is also on my losses that the opportunity the opportunity cost, because if I was selling $20 million in 2000, I'd be selling like 100 millions now. So it's like I lost like 5 times, and they just boom, they like savages, they destroy my entire company. And then you have all the elements about who's who and what's the position of the key position maybe of John Rafter, because a lot of because the perpetrators, it's very clear, it's those 4 people, they are the ones who definitely are the ones who had the money in their hands and they did something else, or they kept it in their pocket. So they are the ones who definitely rob it. But then you have the position of John Rafter, because he was the one that was face to face stealing data from my company, sharing to other people, and doing slandering and defamation and creating the alibi to all the perpetrators to do what they did. And he and his girlfriend, they also committed uh, physical crimes against me. One of them is the one that they blocked they obstructed my passage on the road. I was in Dublin on a cul-de-sac, leaving, and she puts the reverse on her car and she blocks my car, and this man was yelling on the other side of the street and she was blocking. I was panicking and I grabbed the phone, I called the police. That's not one of the interactions of the Irish police, the Tala department, is when I was reporting all the physical attacks. At that stage, I was just reporting to the police the physical attacks I was having in my office. So, and then one day there's even the presence of 3 police officers and a police car when they came to what was my office, which is another story. Why I was temporarily working at John Rafter's living room, okay, because he asked me to go there because I had my office in Conshohoc and it was too far away, so he made me go, and then I wanted to get all my objects back and go back to, and I did. I went back to my office, and and then the police assist 3 police officers, and then John was yelling, but he was so confident that he was doing the right thing. He was yelling. I was like, what's question mark? Like, this is so crazy. He was saying that I was an imposter, a scammer, that this and this, like, crazy. But then that's when I do not know exactly what was his role on this whole entire thing, okay? But I just do not accept that he's being used as an alibi. In one of the meetings with Jamie Williams, for example, that was like 2 months after this incident. He was still mentioning John Rafter, John Rafter this, John Rafter that. Why are you talking about John Rafter? He no longer works with me for like over two months. Why you keep mentioning that? That was very suspicious. You know, why you communicating? Okay, and another thing is that all my cases, there's lots of documentation. Like, oh, it's the case is crystal clear. It's very simple. It's just a lot of documents. The problem that I have, which is why it's the one I mentioned on all my interviews, it's about the jurisdiction. The problem with cybercrime and cybersecurity is the jurisdiction, because look this case. I have Bangkok, Thailand, Malta, Dubai, Dublin, Ireland, uh, Plano, Texas, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Minas Gerais, Brazil, Houston, Texas, Ohio, Malta, Libya. So this is like 10 different jurisdictions. So sometimes even in the same country is complicated, because you have Dublin, then you have Cork, and this is like different countries. And we have St. Martin too, and then we have Canada too. In this case, there is a guy, Mike, from Exim Canada. It's a company in Canada, and the case in St. Martin, where I end up trapped with 25,000 kilos of rice in St. Martin in the Caribbean, all related to all this mess that happened to my company. So that's the problem, and that's why maybe there's so much crime, and that's why I'm not working. I put my company on hold. I keep talking. I'm going to relaunch it as soon as I have like a big investor and I can do like a multi-billion-dollar company, because as a medium size, there's no safety at all. I cannot take all the risks, even if I'm forced to work online nowadays. We just, it's not safe, because the number one problem that the police has is the speed and the locations. Like, you send a WhatsApp and it create a fraudulent document like in 1 minute. I would say 1 minute to be nice, and then you forward it. It's already in emails everywhere. Like, how much time did it take for Jamie Williams to make his wire transfer? He just turned on his computer to send. Money is gone in seconds. So that's way too quick. And for you to make justice, there is a logic which is fine, which is like, I need to report to the police, I need to provide the most evidence as I can, and then the police is going to make whatever investigations, and then we have the prosecution, and then the defendants, they will go. But this process may take 5 years. But how come you have 5 years on the real world, and then you have maybe, let's say, 5 minutes on the digital world? So The cybercrime happens in 5 minutes. For you to take care of cybercrime, we talk about 5 years. So it's 5 minutes here, 5 years there. There's just no logic. Imagine my life has been hell for like 2 years, and I'm still talking today. I'm also making the communication for the police. This video goes to the police, to the attorneys, to the defense. It goes to everybody, and also to the investors, because I am obviously in the market all the time, and then I check the possibilities. I mean, one of the main assets of LA Group today is my brands, the history, which we're going to relaunch as soon as the physical conditions are possible. And we have this case, it's for at $400,000 is the net amount, but there is also all the compensations. I have sent this on my emails too. Like let's talk about Florida laws, because that's where my company is based. By Florida laws, I'm entitled for $400,000 plus $400,000 fine plus like 40% of costs. It's like this can go to like $1.5 million, something like that, on a civil level. But that's criminal too, because it's embezzlement. So it's criminal. So like. So anyway, so that's one thing. Another thing is the story itself, which is the notification. I have sent it already to every party involved, which I own the copyrights of the story. The story is fantastic. The story has a big potential for media. As you know, I have all this media business in myself of my life, so now I'm just getting organized and networking on this industry to see who's who and how can I really start to do some professional work. So one of this fantastic, and I am going to do it. It's a movie about this case, because I have been robbed so many times in my life. It is a dark age. I go back to this top, but this story in particular is the most fascinating of all on a media point of view, because it has all these different countries. There's San Martin, there's Bangkok, there's Dublin, Ireland, there's Texas. Like. So it is a fantastic, and then I have even a list of all main scenes, and I'm talking to everybody involved, because you're going to be represented somehow in this movie, and you are notified and all that. So I'm not sure if you're going to do it 100% real or maybe based on real facts. So you don't know about that, but today, for example, I sent a proposal to a production company in Los Angeles, for example. There are many scenes that they have to be there. The first scene will be me young working at the Quarries of Slate in Brazil with Alexandre Almeida and Anthony Pucci with the billiards. So that would be me going to Las Vegas, all these times of the civilization and all the happy times there was in 2003 and 4 with the cocktails, the wine, the trade shows, and me working in the quarries and doing the invoices. My first invoice, the one that Alexandre Almeida and Elaine Gerber, they used it for my shipments. I created that like 15 years ago in this quarry in Brazil, working in shanty towns. It's a very scary place. It's very scary part, but I'm there, hard working, creating, implementing, starting my career, my global international career, and then so that's the beginning of the facts. The video, the whole thing is so photogenic, that I see all the scenes then on the screen. They'll be great, and then we have also when I go to Thailand to ship the rice. That's another scene. The first that goes to the Thai embassy and Thai fax, because then we want all these actions are going to contrast with what the Thai embassy in London tells about doing business in Thailand. Okay, so the first episode in Thailand, I took a plane to Thailand because that's how I do my businesses. I go face to face, and I'm going to invest in Thailand, and I'm going to spend 1 month in Thailand. And I have this first supplier. There was a guy, he lived in Ohio, that he was being the translator, and he was the guy doing this deal for this company, this rice company in Bangkok. So I go to Bangkok, and it's a long flight, and I go there. Honest, like, and come on, you check my website, my history, like, I do business for years, and I have my samples, and like, if you're in the business, and so I go there, and then I'm talking about the payments, and I was selling. That's the part that Libya comes on place. It's like in the ABC Bank. Like I am there doing. I am there selling the the letters of credit of ABC Bank and their service of assignment of proceeds. So I was trying to like, and he didn't speak English. So I told the guy, "Can you please explain to him?" Because he was saying, "Oh, you pay in advance, you pay in advance." I'm like, "Can you explain the letters of credit?" I have all the letters of credit with me. I was buying about $500,000 worth of rice, and then as soon as I try to intensify, this Thai man, he stands up and he opens the door and say, "Out." And I was kicked out from this rice mill, and you're like, wow. But I keep my hard work. I'm there. I booked my temporary office in Bangkok, right next to the American embassy there. I've been to the American embassy in Bangkok several times doing paperwork, and in this high rise and enjoying. It's a beautiful city, Bangkok, and I'm there. I know the rice is good, the prices are fine, and I'm trying to find a dealer. But you have this scene, okay, that me being kicked out, that's going to be there. This scene about me being blocked on the street, I'm driving ahead in my car, and then my car is obstructed, panicking. Uh, Uchana yelling at us at Typhax. That also happened. Typhax at trade show. Everybody desperate for Augustine's money, and then Uchana, she's yelling and telling that she had done business with Thailand, with Libya, that she knows Libya. That's also another scene that's like, which is totally contradictory with all the work we've been doing with her for 1 year. And Narimon, which is the girl that she she kicked out. She said that she was sick or something, which is the girl who are taking care of our account. She was not there anymore. Now was Yuchana, the owner, and she does not know. I mean, our existence of and she knows Libya. She does business in Libya. And like, what is this? Okay, and we've heard there's also the threats that she made against me. But then you go with truth. But then so we bring the thing to the cybersecurity, where there will be the text messages, because a lot of the episodes they are through text messages. So we're going to bring that into a story too, because the things were text messages that she sent to me, threatened me to send me to the police just because I wanted to get my payments, and she was like sitting millions of dollars of sales. That's Yuchana. Valai, she was very nice at the beginning, but then she showed her true colors in the last meeting. She was laughing at us. I went with John Rafter to Bangkok, and we had this meeting there, and she's laughing at us. And now it's this assistant is going to take care of you, and I was already a red flag that she was going the right direction. Probably that's the Valai. And but there is also the rice mill, and say, can we go to see the rice mill with shipping? Oh no, we can't. Like, and then what is she doing? That's Valai. Another scene. Um, the attacks on WhatsApp, like for example, Mohamed Al Torki, he's a Libyan citizen that lives in Malta or not, which is the Malta branch of this episode. He was sending me a lot of threats by text messages, and all threats, like, and they're basically, I was in a feeling I was in danger of like life danger, and then I report that to the police in Texas, and I had the text messages and everything, and then the police in Texas, what they say is that, well, we can't, because he's not telling you clearly. You can understand that, but they're not saying, if they write, I am going to shoot you, then the police in Plano is going to take care of the case. But if they say, you will learn, or something that if they go in circles as he was doing, they don't. So that's one of the cases. But I made print screens, and I sent a dossier of about 20 pages to the police in Malta. So the police in Malta was serviced when all this was happening. They were serviced with print screens and everything. They have all the paperwork in Malta. So look, have an eye on this guy there, because this is what's coming to me, and I'm freaking out. Okay, and that's also going to be there. My scene, the police in Plano, when I was there, once I was, because this happened first, was Jamie Williams on this meeting, that everybody came, his wife, his son, was everybody in this meeting. Like, it was a very different meeting, and he says, on my face, you are not American, because he said that, like, as an alibi, one of the reasons that now I'm a bad guy. I mean, this is part of the redirection fraud and the alibi. So, oh, you're not American, so it's okay for me to steal from you. So, and he said that, and I was like, And then Carolyn would say, "Oh, you don't know import export. You have." And I was the one training them for like 1 year because they were doing all the documentations, and they can't deny that all the documents they did. I'm the one training them. Okay, that's another scene that this meeting. And the police in Plano. When I go to the I went to the police in Dallas first. I had a couple of meetings there. Then they advised me I should go to the police in Plano because that's where the perpetrators live, and their companies there. So and in Dallas the meetings were not that important, but then in Plano is when I'm really making this report there, and I have a mountain of documents, and this police officer, she's talking to me through this glass. It's a very thick glass, and the radio, and you're there white collar with your my suit and tie, all my documents. I do international business, like 20 years of history and 5 languages, and I have my accent. Where are you from? And I want to report, and they said, why you don't do this in Dublin, in Ireland? Why you in Texas? I said, because the perpetrators are here. And then I have all the time. They say, and they didn't want to take the case, and like, it's here. And so I start to show to them the invoices through the window, and there's an invoice that says Plano, Wisconsin finest cheese, Plano, Texas, $500,000, and then another one, Is that okay if I can? Okay, then I sit down and I am crying and writing the whole thing because this is my company, it's my business, and you promoting sales and money to people, and then you end up vomited in this rotten world of crime and corruption and stealing, and everybody like, who are those people? And it's 12 years of work. I'm talking about Alley Group is 12 years of history and work. It's I created my company with $100,000 from my pocket. It's my own work, and a lot of people involved, my family, and it's and then you're like, and then you have the results. You have these companies receiving like millions of dollars on sales, and this is what I get. This is how they paid me back. Okay, and that's the scene. There is also the scenes in Abu Dhabi and in Ireland, also in Dublin and in Abu Dhabi, at the American Embassy in Dublin and the American Embassy in Abu Dhabi, where obviously I cry, and I cry a lot. And it was even at Abu Dhabi Embassy, the American embassy clerk there that was taking care of me. She was like, "Are you all right?" Like, she stopped because I was just signing and crying, and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I would cry even more, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm then, I'm here signing 7 statement letters to the supplier, to the client, to the sales rep, a police report to somebody. I'm reporting the guy who I hired was unemployed, that I gave him a chance, I gave him work, but now I'm filing him to the report. Do you think it's nice to me? Do you think I'll be like laughing about it? Have to report everything, dismantle my entire company, and be filing up mountains of documents and cases and reporting to every possible police I can? Obviously not, but it's a beautiful scene. It's going to be on the movie as well. And the San Martin case also, which is I am there stuck with 25 kilos of rice, which is also related to this whole case. They say my company was attacked by international gangsters, so probably drug dealers, or I do not know really where the money was going to. At this point, I do not even know if Jamie Williams is part of any sort of drug cartel. I do not know what Valai does. Valai's daughter studies in the United Kingdom. Like, I do not know enough, maybe, what they really are. Now, American Heritage, they filed bankruptcy, and it's all shady stuff, and I do not know. Alexandra Almeida, I talk about the level of aggressivity, and like Alexandra Almeida is somebody who knows me very well. From everybody here, Alexandra Almeida, I trained him. He was my intern, so I was for 1 full year or almost 2 years working with this man. Like that, like next desk. John Rother, the same thing. He was for 6 months, I guess, in my company, and like, and all these people, once I was being attacked, and the quality of messages they sent, like, who are they? I was like, who are those people? Like, there's big international international crime organization behind the scenes here, which I do not know, but that's the total task of the police, and I'm glad that I don't know, and I do not want to know. That's something else too. when I was being attacked, my main concern is not to be killed because I was afraid the way things were going in Dublin 2018, that was July, that would be just killed. They would just have an accident or something, I'll be just killed. He already have access to all my data, all my information. That would be the easiest way for them to commit all these crimes that they were committing. And I was afraid. They say, "Oh, I just have an accident and I died. Nobody's going to know." You know, I have no clue, but I don't know. But then I end up with this case in the Caribbean, all this 25 kill, which is the story, which there is two moments there, which is going to be part of, on the movie as well, which is the first is my strength because I don't give up and I really I'm quiet today because the whole world's on quarantine. You can see by my hair that I'm not even having my haircut, but I'm very hard working. I don't give up. And in San Martin, I was managing because these people they robbed it for, and they left with the minimum resources. That's how it was so easy for them. That's why the police and the government's the one that need to take care of my case because I can't make magic. Like they robbed everything they could from my company, and with the little resources left, and now I have this 25. That was all the resources I had. That was a shipment that was worth about $20,000 minimum, and I had maybe $5,000 in my bank account. So I was managing. And San Martin is very expensive. So San Martin is like it's like you spend like $500 in one day in San Martin between renting a car, hotel, food. You know, it's very expensive to adjust a bed, and I downsized it a bit, a lot actually. And then I stayed like 1 month more there trying to get this solved, which is just selling rice. And I did. I was attacked again there. At all the entire lot was all robbed, but I had my strength, and I was even seen often in San Martin in my bicycle because to save money, I bought one bicycle left in the island. I bought it, and then people are, where did you get that bicycle? There's no bicycles in the island. Oh, I just bought. Was the only one that I found in one shop there, and it was a very simple bicycle, and I'll be cycling. And there's mountains in San Martin, and there's rain, and I'll be cycling, wearing my sport clothes, my bags, and have computers under rain and everything, and I'll be like, these people robbed millions from me. I'm going to make billions out of this. I'm going to do. I'm not going to give up, and that was still happening. So that's my strength, and that's why people you are going to learn about this and that I was there cycling all this island and solving, and I even donating rights. I got some help from people that were in worse conditions than me, that they would lend me their car and they would try to help me somehow. And then that was one of the cases. And then I am shocked with the charity because I try to give rice for free because I said, okay, if somebody help me, at least I get $10,000. We share the cost, and I will donate this rice. Even to donate it's complicated because you need to spend money to give the rice free, to rent a truck, to give it away. You just don't go. It's not that you just go and give rice to anybody. Like you need to really have some sort of structure. You need to, at least it's humans, you know. You don't just go. I don't go to shanty town and I open. I say, oh, get it. It's not like that. So I was trying. I didn't get any support. My charity on GoFundMe and the other one, and I have friends that they have money and they would spend. I send email, text, email. Nobody was spend. That was fucking freaking crazy. And also that's the way the world is nowadays. And also the Red Cross and the Dutch side was not there's too much corruption, there's too much fraud, there's too much crime, so people just don't believe in anything. And then the time for you to explain online something, it drains so much time that you're like, it was just impossible, and end up being robbed. So there's two elements there: my story, they're solving the case, and all the corruption in San Martin, the crime, the organized crime in San Martin. I sold the rice at the end. I sold it to Libya. I had clients in and also another country, I think it was Kenya or Togo, that they purchased the rice. They would take the rice. So I said, okay, we removed the rice from San Martin. I'm now selling a half off, like half of the cost. Jamaica too. And I made the booking, and the owner of the warehouse where the rice was stored sabotaged the shipments. She didn't ship it out of the San Martin. I mean, she robbed it. And then one more. All the paperwork sent to the police in St. Martin, sent to the police in the Netherlands, sent to the police in Marigot in France, sent the entire package over there. And here I am waiting for the police in St. Martin to do something. That's why I call her crime. She robbed $20,000 right there when she blocked and when she didn't approve the paperwork to ship the rice out of the country. And she was at the same time she was doing that to them, and at the same time also harassing me by email, by WhatsApp, asking me for payments for the demurrage. Again, like you try to solve a problem, you end up with more problems because it is a dark age. It's a time of a lot of problems. And so all of this, okay, we have the Elite Group case, we have the business, we have the movie, then we have the politics. This whole thing. Obviously, I'm taking the whole thing to politics. In America, it's the Republican Party. In Ireland, it's the National Party. In Italy, it's the Forza Italia. So these are the three parties that I relate. Obviously, I have different situations in each country, so I relate in different ways to those parties. I am a full citizen in Italy, so that's why in Italy I have the Forza Italia cyberspace, so that's when I'm a fully political person is in Italy. And obviously the main picture, everything here is the structure of the police, cybercrime, cybersecurity, when this entire story is going to is like the pillar of my cases. So that's the update for October. So now I'm finishing the emails. This video goes attached to the emails, and then there's the updated invoices, including my bills for September. And as again, the perpetrators, they know the invoices that I sent. It's again trying to bring it back to civil. Again, all the police involved, and I mean, what I know from these perpetrators and the white collar, I do not think they are going to be arrested. I do not think that they are going to uh, pay the $1 million bill they may be forced to pay once this case is properly prosecuted by the state. Because the thing is that the judge, he may consider, because when you really understand in depth, it's like, why do they owe me money? How was so easy for them to commit invoice redirection fraud? Because they made me, that's the embezzlement part, because they forced me to make my clients pay them direct. And then, well, how much money? Then we're talking millions of dollars. So these companies, they made me make my clients pay, and then they attack me later on. So it is possible that the judge will consider the entire case, and that's why White House Specialties Cheese Wisconsin comes to the table too, because it's like, why you forced Augustine to buy through this distributor in Texas if he contacted you in 2012 buying cash, like $5 million on cheese, and why you guys orchestrated this whole thing? So then is when the case escalates to millions of dollars. Then is when these four perpetrators, they really, we're talking now 5 to 50 years in prison and incarceration, and no bail, right? Bail is when you pay and you, like, it's no fines. It's just not forgivable. They just go arrested, not only because of the values, it's millions of dollars, but there's money laundering too. And so that's no good people. They should be just eliminated from society and arrested. But I just believe that these people, once they really know it's coming, when they really see there's no way to go fooling around as they've been doing, I think they will just show up and try to solve and clear the whole thing. And I do not have any cue that that's happening. Actually, the opposite. Alexandre Almeida, he was very rude on the last contact we've made. He just blocked it was my older sister. She contacted him, asking his cases was $47,000 in 2018. And he just blocked her. Said, I did not want to talk to you. And he forget that he's also talking on behalf of Elena Gerber, Brian Phillips, Anthony Pucci, and all these people, in America, and all this case. And surprise or not, Alexandre Almeida, he owes me commissions from Thailand too, because when I was in Thailand, I sold in Bangkok to this late. So there is also one person in Bangkok too that I should be sending invoices to. I should be including. It's better be like $500. It's only 1 or 2 containers a year, but I should include that one too. And that's it. So anything more, like check the channel there. Like it's a lot of things there. I have over 600 videos. A lot of things. My YouTube channel is experimental. It's not a product itself. Okay, everybody that works in media and that I've been network is that they the challenge is to box me. They need to put me in certain boxes when it comes to media, because I need to be a character. Okay, and so everything you see on my YouTube channel is a lot of things there. So usually from there is like the raw material to investigate. Say, okay, we're going to take this, and also for this movie, there's a lot of scenes and things about. So it's going to be a lot of work on going through the whole case and the videos from the real scenes. Okay, so but that's not something formatted. So don't complain. Say, oh, I go there and I can't find, because that's 600 videos. That's a lot of different things. A lot of them they're very long, like this one. So and we keep working here, um, and when it comes to the virus, I just hope this goes. I don't know. I really don't see this as so much complicated as most everybody sees. I think um, it's all related also to my problems. The world is not really in a good shape. There's a lot of problems, and this virus chaos is all related to that. But I don't make any dramas out of this. I think the humankind needed a reset, and maybe I'm not that shocked, because as I was coming from all of this, and even when I was watching my videos from last year, from 2019, I was already predicting that this was coming, because I was seeing everything so rotten and corrupt and degraded that I'm not surprised where we are right now. And but anyways, life keeps going on, and this is all real facts, and they come to an end. Another thing, I work for 20 years, and I have business stories for like 20 years, and this is not my first lawsuit, and I wouldn't start my own business being so naive and innocent that I do not know contracts or payments or police reports and all that. I have been to all sorts of countries all my life, and I never lost one case. I do not have any gap. So if you thought that maybe I would change my mind and go do something else, I would get tired. Like, this is not me. Maybe you don't know me enough. Okay, so I have no case. This is just the biggest case of my life. This is like a big. That's why it's taking so long. But I have cases. I have cases that in inheritance. I have cases of 10 years. I have cases of 2 years. I have people that are in jail. For example, that they did crazy stuff in Dubai. That was 2014. I have a case in Texas too. It was a detergent company that they make import export, and that's why also I stopped working. It's been 2 years. I'm like, I need to really revise this whole thing, because it's just not safe. And so I'm familiar with those things, but I have never lost one case. All my cases, they just start and then finish. I win them. I mean, because I was right. I'm honest. I'm hardworking. I mean, I have nothing to hide. Actually, the opposite. And you can see that I have 600 videos. It's like the more I talk, the more I have to talk. So it's more matter of time for people to really be able to process my entire story, because it's a lot. Okay, but I never lost. I don't leave things unfinished. Okay, so I'm not going to just leave all of this case unattended. It just keeps going, and hopefully this is going. I mean, on a theory, it's the case already closed. Is invoice redirection fraud, is embezzlement, theft, slander, defamation, object. I mean, the case is very close. I have all the names and the accounts. It's very simple. What's lacking here is government. Okay, it's the institutions. It's the security, police, authorities, Interpol, FBI, CIA. These institutions really do their due diligence, and some sort of legal aid, because this is legal. We still need to follow the rules, and it's been impossible, because all the attorneys, they want cash payments up front. So and on the other hand, this is criminal. So usually, it's the defense attorneys that they need to protect the perpetrators. So it's not me. I'm just report the police. The police file, prosecute, and then we have the lawsuits, and then is when the perpetrators they need to come with their attorneys, which are very expensive, and explain, and they try to reduce their penalty, try to whatever, that's all trying to, that's how criminal law works. Okay, so but still, there's a legal obstruction there, which is the costs, because and the attorneys, they have the same problem I have. They just prepare all the paperwork and they send the contracts, the whole thing, and the perpetrators, they just don't answer. Okay, that happened to me different occasions. It happened to me in Thailand last year. They just answer back. It happened to me with Houston, with Watson's and presidential pillars. Once the Better Business Bureau was in place, they just answer back. They keep following the same guidelines. They're criminals. They're not going to change their mind. They are just do that by forced obligation. That's why we have police, we have security, we have um, penitentiaries and all that. So that's to take care of those people that they don't get it the right way. They get it the forced way. Okay, so thank you. The contacts are there. Read the email and questions. You have Edmond, can send emails to them, and I hope we get this solved sometime soon. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye bye.